Take this opportunity to improve yourself, to improve your business, to take time to organize.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
My friends, welcome back to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out with a quick minisode for you. I hope it'll be quick. I'm going to try to do this very, very quickly because my point today is to get you information that will help. I know some of you are struggling right now. Many of us are struggling, feeling a little down. The slowdown, the longer it lasts, the harder it is, right? We expect the ups and downs of the market, but we sure wish that the downs didn't last as long as they do. I want to pause and remind you that we're sponsored by a great program called Spark. Spark for appraisers. That will allow you to save time on your appraisal reports, folks. Check them out. Go to spark4appraisers.com. Again, spark4appraisers.com. All right, folks, I'm going to dive right into this. The goal today is to give you a few ideas about what's going on in the world, specifically your attitude, specifically how you might be feeling, and we're all feeling it, right? We all understand that markets go up and markets go down. In fact, the last mini-sode we did last week talked about the cycles of the real estate market. But the longer it lasts, let's be honest, the harder it is to remain upbeat rather, and positive. Today, I want to help you with that. I want to give you 10 ideas, 10 thoughts that might be helpful to you to help you get through a little bit. I hope this will be positive and upbeat. I hope this will allow you to be able to refocus your mind, because honestly, a lot of our success has to do with this thing right up here. If you're on YouTube, I'm pointing to my head. By the way, welcome YouTube viewers. We have exploded in YouTube subscriptions, and I'm just so grateful to have all of you out there. If you've not subscribed yet, check us out. Go to youtube.com and just type in the Appraiser Coach. You will find us. All right, number one, folks. Number one is focus on the things that you can control and take action on those things. When you are slow, folks, remember that there are still things that you have complete control over. Okay. For example, you have complete control over on it, not in it time. Oni is the way that we say that. Oni, on it, not in it time. You have complete control over that. Now, when you're busy, sometimes it's harder to fit that in. Now, I still project that you do have control even when it's busy. That time is your time. But it's much easier, of course, to focus on it when you're slower, because you have more time to do it. Number two, use the slow season to improve yourself and your business. Boy, what a novel idea. Folks, have you got your CE done for the year? Have you gone beyond CE? Have you developed yourself in many ways? One of the things that's interesting is the coach side of things we've seen an influx of new people. Individuals who maybe didn't have time for the Appraiser Coach in the past have joined us on the All-Star team, have said, you know what, I've got time to improve myself. I've got time to improve my business. And we have seen an uptick in memberships over the last little while in the Appraiser Coach. Congratulations, folks. You're taking control. You're doing it. You're making sure that things are happening the way that they should. Number three, remember, folks, that slow times are temporary and will eventually pass. This is what we talked about a week ago, the cycles, right? We talked about the fact that the recession cycle typically lasts about 10 to 18 months. And it's not an ongoing long-term thing. Now, recovery might take a while, but you've got to remember that slow times are temporary. They will, I promise, eventually pass. Number four, this goes back to what we were talking about earlier with regard to memberships, right? With regard to connection, with regard to improving yourself. Number four is to stay connected with your network and to continue to build relationships. Now, this is true when it comes to clients. It's also true when it comes to other appraisers and coaches and mentors and friends and family members and everything else, right? What a great and glorious opportunity we have right now. And let's think about this in real time. We, during the 2021, 2022 era, at least the first part of 2022, many of us did not have a whole lot of time to spend with our significant others and our children and the things that are really, truly important. Now, God bless you, and I'm taking my hat off, figuratively. I don't actually have a hat on, but taking my hat off figuratively to those of you who stayed connected with those people during the busy times. Those of you who didn't, it's time to stay connected. It's time to get reconnected. It's time to take some of the downtime that you have to reconnect. I've seen a lot of really positive things on Facebook around this topic the last little while. People saying, I don't mind the slowdown. I'm getting stuff done that I didn't do before. I'm reconnecting with the relationships that I, have probably neglected a little bit over the last couple of years. And so my encouragement is that you continue to move down that road, because it can do nothing but bless your life. Truly. Number 5, keep a positive mindset. Don't let the negativity bring you down. I know that sounds very generic, but folks, we do have a choice. It is our choice on our attitude and the positive mindset that we might ingrain in our lives. Now, am I a realist? Do I understand that, shit happens? Absolutely. Do I understand that sometimes you get up and you say, you know what, I don't feel great about life right now? That's okay too. Is it possible that something might happen in the afternoon that says, you know what, I hate this crap. I'm tired of this. I don't like this anymore. Folks, those things happen all the time. Remember the 82% rule. If you are not positive and upbeat and happy at least 82% of the time, something is wrong. Now, that gives you flexibility for 18% of the time to have a crappy day, to have a crappy hour, to have a crappy time. But in general, we need to be and remain positive and upbeat and not let the negativity bring us down. I want to pause here, remind you that we are sponsored by Spark. Spark for appraisers, folks, is the ability for you to choose the data, hit a button, and download it right into your report. Doesn't matter what software you use out there for your report writing, Spark for appraisers will help you to be more productive, will help you to save time, save money. Now, some of you are going to say, well, Dustin, I thought we're talking about slow times. Folks, this is the time to, we'll talk about it after the break, to get ready for the busy times. It is coming, right? And even if it wasn't, the cost, quote unquote cost, I would say investment of Spark is well worth the money in the amount of time, even during the slow season, the amount of time that you are going to save. Check it out by going to the web, going to specifically sparkforappraisers.com. Again, sparkforappraisers.com. Welcome back to the program, everybody. Dustin Harris hanging out in the podcast chair, doing a little dance in there if you're on YouTube. If you're not, thankfully you're not. That was sad dancing. Back into it, folks. I'm giving you 10 quick tips, if you will, to stay positive, to things you can do during the slow time, both in your mind and in your activity. Number 5, we just talked about. Number 5 was to keep a positive mindset. Don't let the negativity bring you down. Number 6, take time for self-care and relaxation and to recharge your batteries. Folks, I've watched more movies in the last couple of months than I had previously. Not all time, but I'm taking more time for myself. I'm taking more time to walk. I'm taking more time to exercise. One of the things that I've really done, I've really put an emphasis on, I'm not one that keeps track of my steps, the whole 10,000 steps a day, but I do try to get on a half hour to 45-minute walk every single day. If I don't get to it during the day, then I get to it in the evening with my wife or by myself or what have you. And I've been pretty consistent about that. Get my heart rate up a little bit. I'm not just talking about a leisurely stroll. I'm talking about really get out and do some self-care, right? Really recharge my batteries and relax. Number 7, think outside the box, folks. What does that mean? Try new strategies, attract different types of business. This is a great opportunity for innovation. It's a great opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to spend an hour every day brainstorming or acting on those brainstorms to build my business. It is time to think outside the box. It is time to try new strategies. It is time to say, you know what, we're down. I have time to innovate. I have time to create. It's time to think outside the box. Number 8, use the slow season as an opportunity to organize and prepare for the busy season ahead. This is what I was talking about during the sponsorship. Spark is a great thing to learn and understand, synapse, whatever it is that you need to focus on so that when things get busy, you're not learning those things that you should have been learning during the slow time. Take this opportunity to improve yourself, to improve your business, to take time to organize, right? Look around your desk. If it looks like mine, I mean, you can see it on YouTube. It's not too bad, right? I've got a couple pieces of paper. I've got some lists of some things that I'm doing here, but for the most part, things are cleaned up. Why? Well, because I've got time to do it. Number one. Number two, I'm kind of a clean freak anyway, at least a declutter freak. Let's put it that way. It may not be the most clean place in the whole world, but I try to keep an uncluttered desk as much as possible. But take the time, folks, to get organized, to prepare. The busy season is coming, I promise, which brings us to number 9. Stay motivated by setting some goals and tracking your progress. Yes, folks, it's time. I know goals. Oh, I hate goals. Folks, we all do, right? But we do love what goals do for us. We do love the progress that it gives us, a great opportunity. Right now, my mastermind students are working on goals that are really, really pushing them hard, right? Some goals that they've wanted to do for a long time, but now they finally have the time to do it. Last time I was at a mastermind, which was last week, one individual set like 10 goals. And I said, okay. He's like, hey, it's a slow season. I can do it. I'm like, damn, yeah, right, go. Boom. What was I even questioning? Okay. Set goals, track your progress, get it done. And number 10. Number 10, I want to share with you, but I want to first give you a quote from the great Henry Ford, who said, "Was everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it." Okay, it's the same principle that, remember, a kite has to have a string in order to fly, right? And number 10 is finally, remember that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Now, I want to be serious for just a second. I've talked to a lot of appraisers over the last little bit, and some of those appraisers are very down. Some of them are challenging themselves, not in a good way. They're challenging whether or not their decision to go into appraisal was right, 12 years ago when they started. Others are quitting altogether. Now, I would never disparage anybody who makes that decision as long as they have a, next step in mind. But I will say this, folks, we have an opportunity right now to make changes that we maybe felt like we needed to make for a very long time. It is a great opportunity when things are slow to innovate. It's a great opportunity to stay positive, to stay upbeat, to make sure that we do the things that we need to do. I want to end with another quote from Helen Keller, who said, "Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence." Thank you, Helen. And thank you, folks, for joining me today. Would love to have you, by the way, be part of our network of great, positive, uplifting appraisers at the All-Star Team. Check us out by going to theappraisercoach.com. Again, theappraisercoach.com. Go create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star Team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.